Today's story is about how one woman took a pre-owned home full of potential and transformed a simple, overlooked space into a personalized, modern, and incredibly functional walk-in closet. Hi, I'm Diego, founder of Premier General Services. This podcast, Premier Makeover, is where we tell real transformation stories, not just about construction, but about how people reimagine their homes to better reflect who they are. My guest today, Elizabeth Kemp, a woman who bought a pre-owned home that wasn't perfect, but had something more important, possibility. Together, we turned an ordinary area into a stunning walk-in closet with smart storage, bold modern palette, a vanity with LED lighted mirror, and one of our favorite details, a drawer made specially to organize her hair tools. And the catch? We had to get it all done under a very tight deadline. Let's dive into how it all came together. Elizabeth, thank you so much for joining me in today's podcast.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure.
Yep, always.
So whenever you bought your house, your home here in Fairview, what was one of the things that you loved about it and hated about it?
The property was obviously, you've seen it, it's 3 acres and it's stunning property.
Absolutely.
In fact, from the pictures, I was like, there's no way this all belongs to this house. It looks like a park. So that was obviously the first draw. The other draw was when we started looking at houses, I had told my husband, like, I'm never going to find a house that is exactly what I want. I specifically wanted a U-shaped home where the kids were on one side and then we were on the other. And I wanted everything to feel very like indoor, outdoor feel to it, like courtyard home type feel. And when we saw this house, it was like, oh my gosh, I actually don't have to build the structure. There's this amazing U-shaped home with a kids wing and a adult wing, and it's all indoor outdoor feel. So that was what I loved about it. The bones were there, and it was in the school district we loved. You know, the location was huge. What I won't say hate, but what I didn't love about it is that it wasn't exactly to my taste. And I say that, but also I kind of love that it wasn't exactly to my taste because I really kind of don't feel bad about going in and tearing things out and making it my own. You can tell that it had a lot of love. It was done really well by previous owners. It just wasn't
You.
me. Exactly. And of course, there was no primary closet, which was a problem.
Very strange.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I know that's to kind of sneak peek. That's what we did at your home. But one of the priorities was where you're going to put all your clothes. And you walk in and you called and we get in there and like, okay, let's go look at the bathroom. And you had like dressers kind of custom built inside of a bathroom.
Yep.
That was different.
It was different,
Yeah.
for sure.
And what made that the priority for us to start on the project?
Well, I had nowhere to put my stuff. I mean, you saw the explosion. So we moved in April, and basically my husband and I kept all of our things in our suitcases on the floor in our bedroom until you came along. And I knew immediately, like, it was going to be a huge waste of time for me to take all my clothes out and try to shove them in these built-in cabinets in the bathroom. I was just going to have to take them all out. I was never going to be able to find anything. It was going to be a problem. And so I think within like a few weeks of living there, I started calling contractors and like trying to think about what I could do in that space to expand and turning that hall closet, like converting it so that it's walled off on the hallway side and attached to our bathroom now, so that I could have somewhere to just put my things. That was like, I'm a very organized person, very type A, and I need to be able to see everything or I'm gonna like, it's gonna get pulled out and it's gonna be on the floor and wrinkled and a mess. And
Speaking of which, so you saw the problem, you identified, you kind of had an idea what you wanted done, but then you needed to find the person.
Right.
So walk us through what was your process of finding the right contractor?
First, I always like to go by word of mouth if I can. So I asked my neighbors if they had any recommendations, talked to a couple of the people that they knew, through church or whatever. But I am very much a gut feeling person, and it just did not feel like the right fit with any of these contractors that I was talking to. And so I started kind of looking for myself and looking at reviews online and, what people were saying about contractors in this area, because obviously I have no idea. And so I called you, and you were quick to answer. You showed up. You were personable, and where I can get very excited about like home design type stuff. And you came in, and not only did you want to talk about the closet and the vision that I had, and you really listened and gave input where I had on things that I had not thought about. But then you wanted to see, you were like, take me through the rest of it. You've got ideas for everything. I want to see all of it. And I'm like, Diego, do you have all day for this? And you were just like, no, I want to see what you're going to do here. And your excitement made me excited. And it made me feel like that gut feeling like, okay, this person actually cares about this whole grand scheme of things, not just getting in, making a buck, and getting out. And that was huge for me.
Yeah, I appreciate that, of course. Thank you for the feedback. But it is very important. Listening to the clients is the number one priority that we have to do, but a lot of people don't have that. But I can't come up with an idea or come up with what the problem/solution is unless I understand what the utopia dream is.
Right.
And sometimes the client will tell, I just want this. Like, sure, are you doing anything else? Because if we do this, it's going to implicate this later. And then we're breaking and spending your money later. So let's think about the full picture.
Yeah.
And yeah, of course, you seem like a great person as well. So I was like, you know what? It's worth spending the time. I think the first meeting was a little over 3 hours, if I'm not mistaken.
Is that right?
We walked through the whole house, the bathroom, the master bedroom scheme, the laundry room, the kitchen with the butler's pantry, your office, library style, like yeah.
Your idea for the safe.
Yeah, the safe. Yeah. So we went through a lot.
Yeah.
But it's worth it, and I still remember it because I care, and I think that's very important.
Yeah, for sure. And it's not super common. Like I said, you have so many people that come in, and I've done this a few times now, doing home projects and renovations and that sort of thing. And there have been times where I feel like I'm having to more so be the one managing things or watching the itemization that they send me on contracts or on the bills or whatever. And I say, hey, well, last time this was this amount. Why is it now this amount? And I don't want to babysit somebody. I want somebody that cares about what they're doing and about their clients. And that's, just all around what you gave me. And it's one of, if not the most important thing. It's kind of like a mechanic. Like they see you coming in, and I'm like this little petite lady, and they're like, this lady doesn't know what she's doing. I'm going to tell her all these things need to happen, and I don't know. And I think that can happen with contractors sometimes. And you get, people that will take advantage. And that's so unfortunate. And you're just not that way. And I knew
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Speaking of managing, so we had to manage expectations in a very tight timeline as well.
We did.
And to accomplish that, I had my team in there right away. We walked through the closet and we figured out what the wishes were.
Yep.
And put a design together to get you approved right away. And then we got the ball rolling. And if I'm not mistaken, we had 2 weeks before your big party, right?
That was not the intention. Let me just be clear. When I first brought you on, I was not planning to have a giant 30-person party at my house in 2 weeks. But that's...
Yeah, but luck of the draw, it fell on my lap. So
lucky you. Yeah. No, but your guys were so impressive. They were there on Sundays. They were there at 8 o'clock at night sometimes. They were there first thing in the morning. They never stopped. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. So, I mean, you really, like when you said you were getting it done, you meant it. And, I would have understood if you hadn't gotten it done. But you did, and that's
that's great.
Amazing.
Yeah, we had a mountain to climb, but I'm not afraid of any challenge. So
your dad was there every day, managing everything and making sure, and you were there every day too. Like, everybody was like on point with what they were supposed to be doing, and
that's great.
Yeah,
we were all hands on deck. We wanted
all
to make sure
hands
it was
on
done.
deck.
Yeah. Speaking of the closet, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
So what was some of your wishes and what was it that we built for you?
So first of all, I just needed somewhere to put my stuff, right? But I figured if I'm going to build something, let's do it right. And so that meant a makeup vanity with a lighted mirror. That meant a place to put all of my hair stuff. That meant drawers and places where I can see things for like ultimate organization. And so one of the things that I think you found weird was I didn't want doors covering my clothes. And I told you, I was like, if I have doors, they'll all be open all the time because I just need to like be able to see it and snatch it. And
right, I remember you saying that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I needed plenty of space for shoes, which by the way, perfect. Perfect. It is a floor to ceiling shoe wall. It's amazing. Anyway, but I like one of the things that I mentioned in passing to y'all, like the very first day we're standing there going through it, I said like, oh, remember have you ever seen those racks that you pull out and it's got the bars for jeans? And then like I show up and it's like, there's my jean rack. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I mentioned this once and they knew, they remembered, they pay attention to me. So yeah, the must-haves were organization. They were being able to see it and also just like having it be more than a closet, having it be like this room where I can go and get away from my children and my husband and my dogs for a minute. And like, I have a 4-year-old daughter who's really into makeup. And before this, I had never had a separate makeup vanity where I could go sit. My friends always used to make fun of me. I would sit on the vanity in the bathroom, like in the sink, and get really close to the mirror to put on all of my makeup. So I've never had a place where I can sit and like the lighted mirrors right here for me. I've got my like counter set up. I can pull my makeup from here and there, and I don't have to have it all in a bag that I'm like dumping out. And so again, the organization of it, the separation, my child doesn't know where to find me to put on makeup. Like before it was pretty easy to find me while I was doing it. And she could come in and say, Mom, I want some lipstick too. And I'm like, get out. I just want to do this. So yeah, no, it's like my little oasis in my house right now. And it's like
lovely.
Yeah. When I bring people in, I show them my beautiful double doors that I open up and I say, okay, this is the vibe for the house.
You got that custom dresser, right, when you walk in as well?
And this was unintentional on everyone's part, but I have this beautiful picture that's huge that my mom got for me years ago. And it exactly fits, like right above that dresser. So you walk in and it's this gorgeous detailed dresser with brass pulls. And that's what you see. You see the brass pulls, the detailed, like just, I have no words. It's
Lovely.
Stunning. It's such a moment to take from Alice and Victoria. It's such a moment when you walk into that space. And it's like, I can leave those doors open and it's not something I need to it's not a closet I need to hide away. It's an extension of the room and it's gorgeous.
Amazing. And if I'm not mistaken too, that one of the dressers, we did a custom cedar drawer.
Yeah.
You requested,
yes.
remember?
Oh, yes. That was huge. I love my knits. In winter, that's like what I exist in winter. And so many times I pull something out after a year and there's a moth hole. And so one of the things was, please give me a drawer where I can put my knits and it's cedar lined and no pesky little bugs are going to come in and eat my cashmere or wool or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And yep, there it was. And it smells good. It's it's great. I love it.
Lovely. So speaking of which, right? Your closet, masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
But it's your closet. Let's talk about what we did for your husband.
Let's talk about it. So for my husband, we did this custom wardrobe in the bedroom, stain grade wood, which funny enough, this is like just another way that you and I are very much like on the same page and how I know you pay attention to me. You went and picked stains and I said, this is generally what I want. And you went and picked the stains and you sent me pictures and you said, basically at the same time as me, that one. And then you came in and you actually showed it to me and you were totally right and just like spot on and it's beautiful. And I initially was like leaning more towards like very dark stain, like a black. I don't know if you remember that.
I remember you wanted something espresso.
Yeah, and you were like, I don't think so.
Because we were like, because why? We talked about what we wanted to do in the in your bedroom and the floors and what they were going to look like. And we wanted something to think, oh, what's the next phase of the project?
Exactly.
And if we go with this, it's not going to match with the rest of the idea.
It needs to complement it.
Correct.
Yeah. You came up with stuff so many times along the way. Like even the baseboards, like so many times along the way where you were like, okay, we need to think about this because of XYZ project that I mentioned that very first day in that exhausting 3-hour tour that I took.
It wasn't exhausting. It was fine. I love long meetings. It just shows how the client really cares. And and you're the type of client that I look for.
Oh my gosh. Well, I hope you don't eat your words on that because we got a lot left to do.
We do.
But no, yeah, you just have such you have such a keen attention to detail on stuff that like even me living there, I was like, I don't care, Diego, it's fine, just leave it for now. And you were like, no, we're fixing this. Like I'm not leaving it like this. And I come back and something that I've told you like, oh, don't worry about it, we'll fix it later. You did it. Like just like made sure everything was exactly perfect. And that was just like another reflection on you and like on how much you actually care about your craft and what you're doing. And it makes me very excited for the rest. Okay, so back to the wardrobe though. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I got off track. So we built this like really amazing big wardrobe that's built into the wall and into the floor. And it's 2 sides with big, beautiful doors with little brass knobs. And one side is his hanging stuff. And then the other side it's got his shelves for shoes. And then he wanted a watch drawer. That was like his whole big thing. He didn't care about the rest. All he wanted was his fancy watch drawer. And so I think we mentioned that like one time and I sent you a picture and I was like, David wants this. My husband's name is David. He wants this, please just give him his watch drawer. And sure enough, like we get in there and we open up those doors and there's his like hidden cool little watch drawer.
Yeah, drawer within a drawer with a lock on it too.
Yeah. And, that made him feel it's not about him, it's about me. But it made him feel seen. It made him feel good about the entire project and working with y'all because he felt like he had some small part in
the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of next phase, now we covered the closet and what we did for your husband.
Mm-hmm.
Next phase of the project, I know we're going to be tackling the bathroom.
Yep.
And the bedroom.
Yep.
Do you want to kind of do a preview of what we're going to talk about so the viewers can get excited so whenever we actually get there?
So my entire idea, I guess, for the whole house is for everything to have earthy tones. Again, I want for everything to feel very old world, like could have been there, for 100 years. And that being said, I want a lot of like stones. I want for everything to feel very I want for it to bring nature in a very warm and comfortable and cozy way. And so for me, a big thing that I want to do in the bathroom is I want to bring in like old stones, like limestones and travertine or, terracotta, those old antique stones, those even reclaimed, with the dark stain on the double vanity that we're going to create. And right now, the shower does not have any walls or doors. There's no glass. It's an open shower in the middle of the room. And I've seen those before on shows and on Pinterest or whatever, and it looks super cool, right? In theory, it's super cool. In functionality, it's terrible. Water goes everywhere. It pools on the floor. Like the entire bathroom gets soaking wet. So I want walls on my shower. Call me crazy, but I want walls on my shower. The bathtub is a very nice bathtub. It's like jetted and it's a standalone bathtub, but it's huge. I am 5 feet tall. I do not need a giant bathtub. Like just something sensible. I don't need for 18 people to be able to sleep in that bathtub. And then another thing that I'd like to do in there is have a water closet, closed-end toilet with a door. So that's kind of the overall like vibe that I'm going for there. And then like the major construction related things that I think we talked about doing and moving the door, which was your idea, and doing a pocket door. And when you walk into the bedroom,
space, yeah.
It'll be like this really nice view from the bedroom and the bathroom, and it'll give us more space.
Yeah, which played a factor into the placement of your husband's custom dresser.
Yep.
But that goes into the house being you.
Yeah.
And that's one of the key things. Once you buy a house, you're buying the bones.
Yep.
But the inside, that's where we can come in and really make it personable.
Yeah, customize it to me because, like I said, I was looking to build and I was super intimidated about building something from scratch, but I was like, there's no way I'm going to ever find anything that's exactly right. And so I kind of love that it's not exactly right because it gives me the creative freedom to like imagine and, lay in bed at night and think about when my French doors are here and what kind of curtains am I going to hang. And so it's exciting to push forward and move forward on that. And it'll be really nice to have that wing of that primary wing of the house be done and be ours. And so I'm very much looking forward to that next step.
What is one advice you'd give someone that sometimes they're afraid to find the right contractor?
Yeah.
What is it that they need to look for? And from what you're experiencing, I know you've had some good and maybe some bad, but what's some of the advice you'd give someone who's watching?
So I think probably the key bit of advice that I would give someone is, fully having a conversation with each and every contractor. Don't go strictly on who's the cheapest or who's the most expensive. What you're looking at more so than, the budget necessarily is somebody that you're going to trust to say, okay, I see your budget. Here's what we can do within that. somebody that's going to really take time to listen and talk to you, somebody that is not going to nickel and dime you or change things or just, try to get in and get out, making a quick buck off of you, off of the project. You can tell when you talk to contractors. I mean, almost always. You can tell the ones who really, really care about their craft, more so than you, who they don't really know initially, right? People that come in and you can tell, like, they get this like light in their eyes and they really care and they're really looking at things and they're making suggestions based on what you've said to them, not just based on what they're looking at and they're saying, and they want to just like argue and tell you, no, I don't like that. I love somebody that tells me no. Don't get me wrong. But I want somebody to tell me no because they've listened to me and they understand what I'm trying to get to. For instance, the paint color in the closet. You didn't exactly tell me no, but I brought multiple paint colors and I was like, I think I like this one. And you were like, no, based on what you've said to me about the earthy feel and whatever, this is the one you want to go with. And you were totally right. And like, those are the huge key things. And you want somebody too that actually knows their craft. I had one guy tell me, I said I wanted to lime wash the walls. I've told you this story.
It's worth repeating.
I mean, so I want to lime wash the walls in the whole house. And so I told this contractor eventually I'd like to do the bathroom and I want to lime wash the walls. And he says, well, I've got 2 guys and they're actually trained to be firefighters. But they do all the electrical work and everything. And I'm like, okay. So not actually like in the contracting business full time, but, and then he says, and they don't know how to lime wash. They've never done it, but they can definitely watch YouTube and figure it out. And I'm like, please don't YouTube lime wash my walls, sir. Like, just tell me you can't do it. Like, honesty, trustworthiness, communication and timeliness, huge, huge. If somebody's not answering whenever you're calling or texting and it's taking days for them to respond, or they tell you that they'll get you a bid, or they'll tell you they'll get you, X, Y, and Z, and then they don't, they're not going to stick to that during the project either. So yeah, it's just paying attention and figuring out who the good people are that care about their craft. That's it.
That's a beautiful answer.
It was a long-winded one. Sorry.
It was worth telling. Overall, how was your experience working with Premier?
Terrible. I'm just kidding.
Lovely.
No, it was amazing. I mean, seriously, from day one, you came in and, I mean, it just never went downhill. There was never anything where I thought to myself, like, I don't know about this. And that's not common for me. I question everybody. But I just had such immense faith in you. And that was because of you. That wasn't because, you made sure that you were constantly talking to me about what you were thinking and talking to me about staying in the budget and talking to me, which was not an easy budget to stay in for what I wanted. And you worked so hard and your team worked so hard the whole time. I mean, start to finish, it was the epitome of professionalism, and I don't have enough good things to say. You might be one of my favorite contractors I've ever worked with, and that's high praise because I loved some of the past contractors that I've worked with, and I've done several projects with some of the other contractors that I've worked with, and you might have outdone him on this, and it's even in just the 2 weeks, it was just great.
Thank you. I can't really add anything to that.
I mean it.
I do the very best I can. I try to leave no stones unturned, and I appreciate that. And when a client actually sees the full picture and understands all the implications associated with doing a project, I mean, your answer was just spectacular. Thank you. I need a minute. She got me emotional.
Aw. Sorry.
Yeah. No, you got me emotional on that one. That was deep. Thank you. Can we talk about our conversation from before the video? How we talk about maybe getting into this business and
Yeah.
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 Now that you're in Dallas and you moved here and you've gone through the experience of working with us and you have many from before. And I know we've talked about in the past about potentially partnering up and in investing and getting into some flips, maybe even building.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that and what are your thoughts?
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess to start with a little bit of background, I'm an attorney who, in another life, would have been an interior designer, architect, or like having it to do over again. I think I'm more creative than being an attorney allows. So, I was living in DC. And I've done a couple of flips there and made some money on doing those flips there and wanted to be closer to my family, but I also wanted to find a way somehow to get to Dallas and start this new dream of building some sort of investing and flipping business where I can still use my legal knowledge on the real estate part of it and the parts that require that. But to start slow at first, on the side, investing in properties, and then using it as a creative outlet for me. Like I said, I love interior design. It's my favorite thing to look at, to do. It's the thing that keeps me up at night. If I get on Pinterest too late, I won't sleep. Which is maybe dangerous.
Well, but I could tell. I experienced that during our project. We had a lot of ideas. I mean, even those knobs that you got, never seen them before. They were outstanding.
So basically my entire life goal for the past 5 years has been to get here and start this new venture. And I don't know. Again, I think we just like hit it off and kind of have the same mindset on things, have the same like business mind to a certain extent. And you have so much knowledge and like so much input that is valuable to me and you say things that I don't think about. And I mean, I can't think of a better person to partner with on going in and, me doing the business side of it and having some of this creativity as an outlet from my boring legal job. And you like taking the reins and you putting in your know-how. I think it would be such a cool business. And I think we could do super well together. So it's like still just a baby conversation that we're having. And I was saying before we started on air, I need to like learn the market and figure out where we can play, and you're going to know a lot of that too. And so it's definitely deeper conversations that we need to have, but it's exciting. I mean, I feel like it was like meant to be that I would meet you and have you come in and do even this one small project initially for this exact purpose, to like go do something so much bigger. And yeah, I mean, it's going to be fun.
I agree. I mean, that is lovely. And I mean, with that one small project, I already showed you what I'm capable of.
Yeah, for sure.
And I know we have so many others phased approach in your home of the utopia dream to make your home
So many.
the Elizabeth way.
Yeah, that's it.
And it's going to be great. But even with this new venture, and I know I can trust you. I've worked with you long enough. I mean, even projects have been done for a couple of months, and communication is there. You're here.
Yep.
And I mean, I'm excited to what the future brings.
Me too.
Thank you so much for being here, for sharing your story, to walking us through everything that's happened and giving us some advice. It has been lovely to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been fun to sit here and talk about something that I'm passionate about.
And that's the key thing. So I appreciate it. I really do. And I'm excited for the next episode.
Me too.
Thanks. And for anyone listening who's living in a house that doesn't fully reflect who they are, this is your sign. Whether it's a closet, a kitchen, a patio, or even a hallway. If it matters to you, it's worth transforming. If you want support to bring your vision to life, you can reach out to me directly for a free consultation. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next episode of Premier Makeover.